Good evening, Snooker World, and welcome to Facebook Live for the 15 Red podcast. We're here on Friday, the 30th of April, 2021, just gone 10 o'clock, and it's semi-finals day at the World Snooker Championship, and we're joined by Mike in British Columbia, Vancouver. Good afternoon to you, Mike.
Good evening, gentlemen.
And good evening to Mark Joyce, I believe in Warsaw.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, correct. Evening.
Yeah, Wikipedia is right for once.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, how are you, sir? And how's lockdown been treating you up to now?
Yeah, it's been all right, to be fair. Obviously, just been practicing, really. Yeah, we've obviously been busy in sort of Milton Keynes all year, and it's not seemed too bad, really, in sort of the winter months. I think it was tougher last summer. I found the first lockdown a lot tougher than the latest one, to be fair.
Okay. And did you feel like it affected practice in any way? This second lockdown?
I think it's. To be honest, I'm quite lucky, really, because I've got a practice facility at my parents' house. So I've just sort of I've been practicing there, but obviously you've got to be careful who you're sort of practicing with, because you just want to sort of keep a sort of close selection of practice partners, just to try and minimise the risk of sort of maybe sort of catching anything.
Yeah.
Although I did end up catching the virus and having to pull out of the Welsh Open, so that didn't work.
Oh, dear, yeah. Yeah, I think I remember. Yeah, that was a bit of a blow.
Yeah, obviously it's not ideal, but having said that, I sort of went into the World Championships relaxed, because after you do end up getting the virus, you get a 90-day exemption from testing. So I think a lot of the players sort of wanted to catch it at the shootout. If I'm honest,
Yeah, no kidding.
That would have sort of meant that they were sort of clear to play for the World Championships without worrying too much.
Oh,
okay. So we'll go to Mike now for a few questions.
So, Mark, who's your snooker inspiration? What got?
Well, growing up, it was Jimmy White. Sort of early memories of watching Jimmy lose all those world finals to Hendry back in the day, and remember watching him make his maximum against Tony Drago. I think 92 was it?
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, obviously, say Jimmy White. Growing up, just loved the way he played the game, and that's the reason why I sort of got into it.
Oh, very nice, very nice. So, what? Obviously, you played quite a few matches in time. What match stands out most to you that you've played?
Oh, that's a tough question. I've been on the tour 15 years now, so I've played quite a few matches. Obviously, a couple of the runs in the UK Championships that I had, they sort of stand out. Beating Judd when he was world number 1 and defending champion in 2012. And obviously getting to my first ranking final a couple of seasons ago as well.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately losing to Yambing Town in the final, but and obviously last couple of weeks making my first appearance at the Crucible as well. That was pretty special as well.
Excellent, good answers.
Yeah, that was absolutely fantastic, by the way, and well done for getting there.
Yeah.
Bit of a plumped draw, though, wasn't it, getting Ronnie?
Yeah, it was a good and bad draw. I think obviously he's, for me, in my eyes, he's the best player ever to play the game. So you sort of know all eyes are going to be focused on your match. But yeah, at the time I was like, well, the only person I said in my interview, Rob Walker, after I qualified, the only player I really wanted to avoid was playing Kyron, because we sort of practiced together quite a lot.
Okay.
And obviously, when I drew Ronnie, I mean, I beat Ronnie the last time we played each other in Beijing a couple of 2 or 3 seasons ago.
Oh, very nice.
But yeah, it was more about I think just sort of trying to handle playing at the venue really, rather than my opponents.
Did it add extra pressure to you knowing you was playing one of the favourites?
Yeah, I think it did. I think sort of when the draw was made, I didn't really think of it like that. But in hindsight, it probably wasn't ideal, if I'm honest. Just the fact that I got back home on the late Wednesday night after the qualifiers. The draw was done Thursday morning, and then because Ronnie's defending champion, you sort of back up that you're playing first thing Saturday morning, first session on. So it was like, didn't really get too much time to do any practice on the Thursday and the Friday. And yeah, it was probably, in all fairness, I could have probably done with playing like, in an ideal world, maybe on the Monday or the Tuesday, and just had like a day or so just to let it sort of sink in a little bit, and sort of maybe just get a couple of days back on the practice table.
So it may be a silly question, but do you like playing at 10 o'clock in the morning? Like, that seems like a pretty start time.
To be honest, that's my normal time for practice. So that's absolutely fine. But to be honest, I prefer 10 o'clock in the morning than the night sessions, if I'm honest.
Oh, really?
So, yeah,
right.
normally I sort of drop the kids off at school. I get to practice sort of 10 o'clock, and that's sort of the time I sort of kick off my practice. So yeah, no, that's absolutely that wasn't an issue at all.
Oh, very good.
And how was your experience on how the session went, on how the first session went, or how the match went in general?
Yeah, I mean, going back to the qualifiers, I felt like my game was really sharp. I won both matches fairly comfortably. I think, the Anthony Hamilton game, I should have probably won 6-1, if I'm honest. The Eagle game, obviously, I got to 9-4, and he sort of probably relaxed a little bit, and I think he just sort of made the score look respectable in the end at 10-7. But so I knew my game was there going into the match with Ronnie, but and I practiced well on the day before. I practiced well on the morning, but then as soon as I sort of went into the arena, I just couldn't believe how small the arena was. It was because obviously I have been to the Crucible a few times, but only I've been there to watch Kyra and been to a couple of World Finals to watch, but that's more sort of the one table setup, and you've got quite a lot of space around the table, but it's just unbelievable when you get out there how tight it actually is to play as an arena. And in terms of the session, I didn't really settle down, to be honest, until probably the second or third frame. So obviously 3-1 down at the interval, and then I think I had a little sort of spell after the interval where I played my best snooker, sort of got back to 4-3, started to feel a little bit better, and then I lost a bit unlucky. I lost a big 8th frame to go 5-3, where if I'd have had another, I played a good brown with the rest, and I just had a bad kiss on the blue, and on another day I'd have gone 4 each there, and then who knows, but after that it went 5-3, 6-3. And then on the night time, to be honest with you, I didn't really do much wrong. I made 50 first frame, and then Ronnie's just played really well, to finish off with 3 tons. So yeah, it was a strange game. If I'd have had the chances I'd have had first session in the qualifiers, I'd have probably been 6-3 up myself.
Oh, yeah.
But
just the way it goes sometimes.
Well, yeah, it's not just for me. You look in history. There's not many debutants at the Crucible who sort of win first time up, and having been out there myself now, you can understand why. Yeah.
And how does the table play at the Crucible compared to the qualifying table?
To be honest, the table against Ronnie, I found the table really quick. I think the cushions were really playing quite pingy off the cushions. So I'm not sure if it's something to do with the TV lighting, or obviously being the first day on, the arena was really cold as well, because it's the first day. Obviously the 2, 3, 4 days prior to that, they're rigging the arena up. So you've got the big shutters at the back of the venue, which are wide open, and you got like a draft coming through. So sometimes when you get the cold air meeting sort of the table heaters and the warm conditions within the arena, that can cause the cushions to ping a little bit. So yeah, I thought to be honest, the tables didn't play that great for my match. For my honest.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
So who do you practice with on a semi-regular basis then? Who's your go-to player?
As I said earlier, just like Kyron's probably out of the top players. Kyron's probably my main practice partner.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, I live not sort of in the middle of the country, so I'm not a million miles from anywhere. Play with Chris Wakeling as well. He's Nuneaton, which is only half an hour away. Dave Gilbert Tamworth, he's only half an hour away. So yeah, Mitchell Mann, who's Birmingham as well. He's unfortunately just dropped off the tour. So, but yeah, I've got probably sort of 6 or 8 regular practice partners. Yeah.
Excellent. So away from snooker, what garners your interest?
I play a bit of golf.
It's not surprising that you say that, Mark, because many snooker players are golfers.
Yeah. Actually, I had my first round of golf yesterday. So yeah, I just looked at the weather forecast. So the weather forecast's not great for the next week. So I don't know. I'm a bit of a fair weather man myself.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And which is your preferred sport?
Sorry?
Out of the two, which is your preferred sport?
What, golf and snooker?
Yeah.
No, definitely snooker. Definitely snooker.
Golf, yeah.
No, although I'm obviously a snooker player, I love the game as well. You know, I mean, I didn't watch much of the first week of the Crucible, if I'm honest. But yeah, I do enjoy watching it on the TV, and I'm always keeping an eye on the scores and whatever. So, but if the weather's nice, I do enjoy a game of golf and a couple of beers after.
Yeah, nice.
Fair enough. We're going through these semi-finals and everything like that, and the quarterfinal. What has been your match of the tournament so far?
Oh, well, like I said, I didn't really watch much of the first week, so that's a tough question to answer, to be honest. I thought I always, obviously, because I practice with Kyron, I always keep an eye on his matches. I thought the match with Gary Wilson was a real interesting game. And I thought Kyron did ever so well, to be honest, not to panic, and at 5-1 down, I thought he did really well to sort of hold his sort of composure and not panic, and like I said, to sort of eventually reeled him in, didn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, and it's been a fantastic tournament. I think Kyron's playing really well at the moment against Murphy. I think, to be honest, I think he'll get through there. To be honest, if I'm honest, he'll get through to the final. The way he's playing, he's on fire at the moment.
Yeah, obviously he's massive favourite. I think if he'd have gone 11-5 earlier, I think it would have been an absolute, more or less a certainty. But that clearance Murphy pulled there, every credit under pressure there, and obviously he's given it a bit of a fist pump at the end to try and get the
get some energy back.
Yeah, I think in a strange way, although he's 10-6 behind, he'll probably sleep all right tonight and kind of still fancy the job tomorrow. Whereas if it had gone 11-5, I think it was game over.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, we've got a little question for you about a refereeing decision in the Selby and Bingham game. Just in the last a couple of frames ago, he told Selby to speed up when he was in a bit of a spot, and he took over 2 minutes to make a shot, didn't he? And he was like, "Come on, Mark, you've got to speed up." Is that in the referee's jurisdiction to do that, or because there's no legal limit to a shot time?
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't actually see the situation that you're on about. So it's without seeing it, I'm not sure. But that's quite unusual. You don't really see that very often. So yeah, the referee. Obviously, I think Stewart's obviously come out the blocks, hasn't he? And he's won the first couple of frames, and maybe Selby's just sensing he needs to try and slow him down a little bit. So you know, Selby's, you know, he'll do anything he can to get the win. You know, he'll stay out there all night if he has to. So yeah, but without seeing the specific situation, then it's hard for me to comment on it really.
Okay, but what's your general view of that situation? You know, anyway, just a referee saying that in general.
Yeah, it's it's a bit of a tough one, isn't it? Because if you you know, you don't want to sort of upset the player. I think the referee's got to be absolutely 100% justified in the sense that he's got to be sure that the guy's playing some, you know, doing it for gamesmanship. You know, and I think that's where a good referee comes in. It's a bit like the misrule, you know. There's, you know, without naming names, not on so much on the TV, but you certainly see referees in the qualified, and there's a lot of referees out there who are sort of probably just markers. They just, you know, pick the balls out and just put the score on the board. Do you know what I mean? And I think, you know, that for me, what makes a good referee is probably somebody like who's got experience in actually playing the game themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because a miss shouldn't always be a miss, if you know what I mean. You know,
absolutely.
Great.
So yeah, so it's a similar kind of thing to the to pulling the player up for the, you know, for taking too long on a shot. You've got to have some sort of you know, I'm not going to say you should be knocking tons in, but you should have some sort of understanding of the game, and I think that's where the likes of sort of Jan Bahas and like Brendan Moore, even Brendan, they all play sort of snooker themselves to a reasonable level, and I think that helps in making a top class referee.
Agreed.
Okay. Dan Carroll has just messaged and said the shot time was approaching 3 minutes.
Yep.
You know, like I said, there's no legal shot limit, is there? Just to clear that one up, Mark. There's no.
Not as I'm aware of.
No.
There you go. There you go. So that, I think that clears up that debate.
It did seem obscure considering how the match was playing, and it seemed like a bit of a quick trigger, I would say. You know, like it was a pretty intense safety exchange in a pretty difficult spot.
Yeah. Well, I think, wasn't there a video a few months back when Ronnie, they put a video of Ronnie knocking his 5 minute 20 maximum in, and I think was there that Selby was took 5 minutes on a shot against, was it Higgins or something in one of the tournaments?
Yeah, that was.
Oh yeah.
And you're with the cue on his shoulder, and he was in a tough spot.
Yeah. No, I don't know. So, I mean, like I said, without seeing the specific incident, it's hard for me to comment on it. But I certainly don't think, you know, Selby would do it intentionally. Sometimes as a player, you know, you can just be out there, and when you're watching it on TV, you just see the shot. But when you're out there as a player, it just, you know, you sort of, your head just goes to, you know, and you're thinking, you just don't know what to do. And sometimes you can just, the more you look at it, it just gets worse.
Did going back to your match with Ronnie, Ronnie have any words of encouragement for you after the game?
Not really. I mean, as you know, you tend not to sort of speak. You know, it's well done, and that's it. You leave the arena, go back to your dressing room, and you know, you do your media stuff, and that's it. You just go your own separate way. So I didn't get a chance to speak to him after that.
Okay. So who's your tip for the Worlds?
If you'd have asked me before the semis, I would have said Selby and Kyron, but I still think Kyron will win. But I'm not so sure about this one now. I think Bingham looks up for it looks up for it to me. So, but then again,
he's playing really well at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah. And he's got the experience of winning it there before as well, which is, you know, is massive. So yeah, it's an interesting couple of frames coming up now. I think if you can get out maybe 14-10, then I'd probably say Bingham. 13-11, game on.
Yeah. So Mike's got some quick snap questions before we wrap it up.
So who's your favourite football team?
Oh, I'm a big Man United fan.
Very nice.
Okay.
Best golf course you've played?
Oh, best golf course. probably the Belfry or Celtic Manor, I'd say.
Oh,
Two
yeah.
riders.
I know
Oh, you
that.
played at Celtic? Okay.
Nice. Favorite vacation spot?
Oh, I loved it. I went to Florida a few years ago, went Disney World, and then I had a few days down in Clearwater. That was beautiful.
Very nice. Yeah, it's nice down there. Orlando, I think you were referring to. Yeah, and did you pick who did you say you were picking for the World Championship?
Oh, I'm gonna go for Kyron because of me mate.
Good job.
Yeah.
Nice. Excellent stuff.
Yeah. Well, say thanks for coming on, Mark.
Okay, mate. Pleasure.
Yeah. Thanks,
And all
Mark.
the
Thanks for your time, man.
yeah, and all the best.
Okay, guys.
Perfect.
Thanks a lot.
Cheers.
Cheers.
See you later.
Bye.
Take care. All right.
Well, fantastic.
So yeah, that was good. It was quick and to the point, and he gave us some good insight to his time at the Crucible, I should say. And
Yep.
good stuff.
So just to give everyone a quick update, as if you didn't need it, Kyron Wilson 10, Sean Murphy 6 currently going into the next session tomorrow, and it's currently 12-9 to Bingham in this frame, and yeah, I think Selby's currently 10-0 up in this frame.
Perfect. Excellent stuff. So
Okay, so I
tomorrow,
will say,
sorry, one sec. Tomorrow we will do a full wrap on the semi-finals, and we
Yep.
will do we'll prepare for the final because that'll be determined tomorrow.
absolutely.
Good. So he is Graham in Burton-on-Trent. I am Mike in Vancouver. We are signing off. We will see you at 10 o'clock tomorrow night. Have a good night, guys. See you later.
Cheers, Mike.
Bye.
Bye.